Let's go. Happy people everywhere. Ay, ay, yeah, we talking to you. Ay, throw your love up in the air. In the air. So get up off your seat right now. Jump it on it.
Before we jump into today's episode, a quick thank you to our sponsor, Lime Virage. Lime Virage is the everyday energy refreshment you can trust. With zero caffeine, no crash, and safe for everyone in the family to consume, including the kids. It's light, it's delicious, and it keeps you going the natural way. Look out for Lime Virage at your selected spa or order it online at Macro. Now let's get into the episode.
Welcome to a new episode of The Big Pitch on Scats and Originals. Today I'm joined, as always, by our host, Mohale. Hi, Brad.
I'm good.
Easy. But the big flex today is the CEO of eJuuZ that we have today. With Thabang Monyamane. How are you, sir?
I'm very well.
Thank you so much for joining us, man.
I'm quite pleased to be here.
Thank you. I think it's been, we started having a conversation about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, it has been.
So it's been a slowly brewing thing, I think. But it's going to be fun because I think we're going to touch base on something that's quite interesting within just the global landscape of business, finance, and FinTech. But before we do that, let's just start with where you're from. Little Grady tells me we're not far. Where are you from, brother?
Tiro, I'm from a small township in Editorial called Mamelodi. And what I mean small is relatively small as compared to other townships that we know. Yeah. In Joburg, Soweto, it's having to be one of the biggest. Sure. And with Soshangulo, got 10 bases. So I'm quite proud to be brought in brand from Mamelodi because it has actually given me the opportunity to be here. So I'm quite.
And what about Mamelodi? Because I think let's even touch base on that before we get anywhere. What about Mamelodi do you feel like did that or gave you that thing? Because obviously townships have a negative connotation to them to an extent. So what is it that you learned from being go Mamelodi, go Flaga?
Growing up and understanding the landscape of the people and the culture that I grew up in, and it's quite rich. Mamelodi's got a lot of history on its own, and in as much as, like I said, Soweto is taking all the credit for what it has done, especially when it comes to the struggle and apartheid and all of that thing, but not to take you back. Yeah. But I know that we have Yaku Smith, we have FF Ribeiro, we have the lines of it's quite a number of people that actually struggle heroes that actually and Solomon Mahlangu. Yes, I forgot to mention the Solomon from Mamelodi. So having to take that information, because I had an entrepreneurship mind growing up. At some point I remember I went to Ribero's house because there was an event that we were hosting together with my peers. And we called it the Mamelodi Amazing Race. So to have that event, the one thing that sparked that entire thing to happen for me and my crew was that it was during the Easter holidays, and we knew that every time it's a long weekend. So now most of our peers, the one thing that we get to do is just drink. We don't do anything educational in townships. So now that's when the idea sparked. So we had an idea to have a race, but now this race, we focus entirely on understanding the history of Mamelodi. So now the team and I went on doing research, went to Ribero's house, went to Yaku Smith's house, went to Solomon Mahlangu's house. So that's where we got that information, and we got to know more about our history. Our history. And then what we did was that we came together, collected that information, and we created clues out of what we got from Ribero's and all of that. And it was a big thing. So now, it first started out in 2008. We only had the event around Mamelodi. The second time around, following year, we included Pelendaba, Attridgeville.
Yeah.
And then the third one round, it also included Rankuwa. So now, obviously, being young and having other, when you're young, there's a lot of egos involved. There's a lot of mindset that wouldn't. So the idea grew, but the team, us as a team, we didn't grow because everybody was just looking at where to benefit. Yeah. So eventually that didn't work out. But now the concept, the mindset was there, and the passion it's always been there. And now if one idea doesn't work out, so you need to continuously start search. You need to continuously search and equip yourself with. I mean, I always tell my friends that, the information, getting the acquisition of knowledge, it's a moral duty. It's your duty as an individual to equip yourself with the skills and the knowledge to get ahead in life, and
that's so interesting. And I think obviously you make mention of how it shaped you and that entrepreneurial mindset. Not even just that, maybe I'm assuming not even only an entrepreneurial mindset, but that self-starter thing, because it's a build muscle.
Yeah, like at Tiro, like I grew up I'm a family of entrepreneurs, right? My dad had a business from a young age, and then when I was in high school, I was already selling things so that I can actually buy clothes. Because obviously the pressures when you're a teenager, there's a lot of pressure. So what happened was that my mother had an account. It was an Advantage account at the time, and I used to sell lollipops and sweets at school. And I remember she used to be frustrated because she couldn't pay for that account. It was just too much. So what I devised a plan. I went to her like, yo, mom, I have a business at school. How about we do this? You give me your card, I pay in whatever it is that I can into the card. So now what we're doing is that we're doing the cash flow. I pay into your card, I can buy clothes whenever I want.
Sure.
I make sure that this account is fully loaded at any time. And then she agreed to the idea. She was happy because they gave her more credit because they saw that there was more money coming.
Yes.
And bro, I was living large. I was a kid. as a teenager.
Yeah,
I was a teenager, and that alone, it just gave me an edge. So now I was doing everything alone, right? Because every time you're with your mind, and if you trust your mind, if you listen to your consciousness, your subconscious.
So at this particular point, are you in high school selling clothes?
Yes.
I mean, selling sweets and stuff?
Yeah.
So was this your first business?
Was it my first business? I think so, yeah, because it was in grade 8. Yeah, it was in grade 8.
So you've always been...
Yeah, I've seen my father do it. I know it's been tough for him, but it's something, and then I remember that he used to work, but he used to hate his work. He used to load his work, but now, then eventually he quit. He did whatever it was he focused on. But now growing up with my dad, and he was a quiet chap, but there's quite a number of things that I could pick up from him. And and then he was a good guy. He wouldn't say a lot, but his presence just said everything.
Yeah. There was a lot of that influence from him without even him saying much. It's seeing things.
Yeah, it's just
more than
seeing
anything.
how we conducted things.
Yeah.
Now it is.
And you were actually going on to say something about subconscious, and what about that do you credit your success to, or at least how you viewed life?
Yeah, like, what I wanted to get to was that I've always been doing business alone, but now over time, when I mentioned the Amazing Race, there's a lot of mindset that you get to understand at the time and then now. If you have a goal and objective, which was the Amazing Race, and then now you've got a collective of people, now having the ability to bring them together so that we can all focus on one goal, even though I feel like I'm better than Tiro, or I feel like but now you as an individual. So now me at the time, I think I was at a very prevalent position because I got to see the mindsets of how everybody was. So now my objective was to get this thing going. My plan was to get the amazing thing going, and now I managed to actually have a chat with individual talks with everybody. I don't know where I got that, but I could see that this plan was about to dissolve us. We were not going to go ahead.
For the people who don't remember, can you just explain
Okay.
Find the amazing race again.
Oh, with the amazing race. So
it's a forgotten show.
Oh yeah. So now the show was all about having teams. So now for our amazing race, we were in a team of 4. Team of 4. You all had to have you were given clues. You were given a set of clues from point A to point C, and then those clues. One clue would lead you to another clue, and would lead you to another clue until you've completed all the tasks. And then now, essentially, that's exactly what we did. So now, for our race, we included local businesses like your taxis. We call it small businesses. So now, the small businesses was just fantastic on how they participated. It was you could see that. If the community is involved, if you involve the community in everything that you do, there's no way we can fail. And which is why even today, I it just boggles my mind that townships are not getting ahead, but now we are a community, and then we are always a knit. But when we have to do certain things as a collective, we're not advancing, and then that's what we need to do to advance as a community. So. Yeah, growing up in the township, being in a position of wanting to be self-sufficient, because that's what it's all about, being self-sufficient. You gotta believe in yourself. You gotta listen to yourself, and you gotta know what it is that you want in life. And that's what I can just tell you about me and how I've seen the township. The environment, it has been structured in a way that not a lot of us can actually make it out of there. But it all boils down to how you see things and where you want to go in life. It's a mindset.
It is. It truly is. And I think it's very important for, like you said, it's something has to come into your subconscious for you to start somewhat manifesting it, if I should say.
Correct.
But you don't get the manifestation, or not even you don't get something imported into your subconscious if you don't see it. Because you have to have a point of reference.
And think about it, we're not that a genius enough to think of an idea.
Yeah.
But if an idea comes to your mind, you write it down, you believe it.
Yeah.
Because if it starts in here, then it manifests into real life. And you've seen it happen.
True. And we need more stories like this, because for lack of a better, there's not too many positive stories, and if they are, and it's unfortunate because someone goes into the township, or rather grows up there, makes it, and the first person leave. And then now you've lost that opportunity, or rather the people, they have lost that opportunity to be inspired.
True.
And even to have the story to say, or he lived here. And somehow that somewhat, I don't know, it creates this belief that if this guy lived down the road from me, surely I'm no different than him. And therefore I can, move into that space. So that's such a powerful thing. And and I'm hoping that we're able to really do this as a podcast, to really get these stories, especially for entrepreneurs, because it's not, we don't have much of a culture of failing in South Africa where it's okay and you can try again.
Correct. We don't have it at all. And, failing is more like taking, there's nothing greater than failing, because now if you fail, then the one thing that you can do again is to fail again.
Yeah.
And you fail again, and you fail and you fail and you fail until you pass.
Yeah.
Because that's what it's all about. If you keep on doing, if you keep on pushing, if you don't give up, if you don't shortchange yourself, don't shortchange what you feel inside.
Yeah.
And that's what I would always tell the people that I work with. And the people that I work with, these are my brothers. My brothers. I used to have friends, but now I believe that I've kept my circle so close that these very people I call my brothers, because we go through the most together. We if there's 10 rand that we need to share, we're going to share the 10 rand equally. But now we understand that that's all we have. We all have each other, and now I cannot make it. There's no Rich Herman, right? There's no Rich Herman, and I cannot be a driver. I cannot be a passenger. I cannot do everything in one sitting. So now what I mean by that is that if you want to grow in life, you gotta know what it is that you're good at. And the people that you want to bring into your life, you also need to know what it is that they're good at so that you can amplify what it is that you guys have. And it's something that I've been trying to advocate for the longest time. I've had quite a number of friends, a lot of friends, but now sitting around here as friends, what is it that we're talking about?
Yeah.
Are we growing? And it's something that I've realized that in my circle, I'm not growing. And I don't want to fool myself and keep on moving with the same crew if I'm not growing.
Sure.
And then if I'm not growing, what is it that I'm doing? You know, and you need to ask yourself these questions, because now time moves, and when it moves, it is not certain where we're going to end up, but what is certain is why we're here.
Yeah.
And all we can do while we're here is whatever it is that you're feeling in your mind, make sure that you live up to it.
Yeah.
That's all that I can tell you guys.
Yeah.
It's a good journey. It's a beautiful journey. It's a beautiful one to trust yourself. You know, I used to work and I thought I had it all. The cars. I had I had an entourage. Like in the days, if I were to come in to tell me for an interview, I had an entourage. Like,
You keep on mentioning crew.
yeah, I had an entourage.
Yeah.
I had an entourage, right?
Yeah.
And now I thought I was big. So now my cousin calls me over one night, calls me over. Yo, T-Man, can you please take me to this place in Silver Lakes? I don't have a vehicle. If you're available, please hit me up. It was a Friday night. I wasn't doing anything. So I call him up. Yo, bro, where are you? I'm around. Let's go to where you want me to take you. So I drive him there, get to Silver Lakes. First time I get into the Silver Lakes area, I'm seeing all these big houses. Bro, I'm thinking I'm big.
Yeah.
I think I'm big, right? Drive up to this neighborhood. Now I'm thinking, look, all these big houses. Bro, who lives here?
Yeah.
Like, bro, it's my uncle. I'm just gonna check him out. He summoned me here. Okay, cool. We get to his uncle's house. He goes out. I don't know where he went.
Yeah.
So I was left with the uncle.
Sure.
No, I'm thinking, okay, let me ask this guy. Yo, uncle, what it is that you do again?
Yeah.
And then he tells me his story, his life story. He tells me how the banks wanted to repossess him. He told me how everybody he owed everyone. He didn't know how to pay. He didn't know what to do. But he had a vision. He had one focus, and his focus was to become a doctor, was to have a family, was to build the family for his house, the house that I was actually looking at.
Yeah.
And he's self-sufficient. He's not working for anybody else. There's a lot of companies that have approached him to work for, but he said, you know what, this is me, this is what I'm going to do. And for me, I felt like, you know what, Thabang, you need to go back home and actually do more digging. You need to do some introspection.
Was the uncle the source of inspiration for you making a conscious decision to leave the 9 to 5 and enter the business world? Huh?
Yeah, because I've always wanted to leave the 9 to 5. Plus, I was working with this guy. He didn't know what he was doing. And
I'm not afraid to even ask where you were working, because you'll know who.
Dude, he was so annoying.
I hope he sees this.
Yeah.
No. I was.
So you move from that James Bond living life
Environment,
right?
Yeah.
You then take that experience. Fast forward to how many years do you then start eJuuZ after that? After you leave your job, or rather, how long did you work? And then after how long leaving did you then start eJuuZ? And what is it that went through your mind, or was the catalyst rather to eJuuZ being there?
You know, Tiro, now come to think about it, I've had quite a number of businesses. Even when I left my work, I started a property business. I started going to property, buying properties and renting them out because I needed something stable, right? So when I left Crime Intelligence was in 2014. I went into the property market.
After how long were you there?
I think it was 9 years.
9 years, okay.
I worked there for 9 years because I didn't want to do 10 years. Because when I got there, I think I was at around 25 when I started working, or 24. And then I started asking everybody there, how long have you been here? They told me 14 years, 20 years, 30 years. I'm going to be the guy who's going to leave just before 10 years.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that it happened exactly like that. So I left after 9 years. But the information that I got from there, it was quite substantial for me to do what it is that I do right now. And I understood that, with technology, you can do quite a number of things, and being in business, and that was one of the hurdles that got to build eJuuZ, because I realized that if you're in business, there's quite a number of things that you need to consider as a business person. You need to make sure that your business is safe, and then you need to make sure that you are the one who's securing it and you are in control no matter what. And
what do you mean by safe?
Well, you need to ensure that there's nobody who's gonna come in if you locked all your doors to your business. So it is safe, and you must make sure that you protect your assets, you protect the content, the things that you're selling in your business. You always have protection over them. So meaning it's either you put in security or you put in insurance, whatever it is. If you have something that you value, you need to make sure that it's always protected.
Yeah.
And now you always have full on control. You cannot let anybody else tell you about what it is that you are doing in your business. You need to know your business.
Yeah.
So now for the people who don't know what eJuuZ is,
actually,
what is eJuuZ?
Well, just to tell you what eJuuZ and how it even started was that, when you want to be juiced up, when you want to be juiced up is when somebody wants to be filled up. So you juice me up, you fill me up, and then that's how eJuuZ came about. But now, the reason why we called it eJuuZ was that business does not continue if there's no money flowing.
Oh yes.
You get what I'm saying? So there's a lot of people that have businesses, but now they are dependent on their systems are not well in place so that they can secure the payment. So now I would give you a product, and now I'll wait for you to pay me.
So basically, if we were to summarize it, or just to explain it to someone
who doesn't know,
what would you say the business is?
Or does.
So the business of eJuuZ, we convert cash send payment, cash send services into spendable digital value.
Okay.
So now you send me a cash send, I convert it into a digital value where I'll be able to then spend it on an ecosystem.
Okay.
Yeah.
And through this ecosystem, who are the players within this ecosystem?
So now the players will be the informal merchants, it will be the local shoppers, and then also it will be the local drivers.
So is it just for people within business, or is it just for normal individuals like you and me and Tiro right now?
So now, remember, I just mentioned informal merchants. So the most important people, the one thing that eJuuZ will make it sustainable is to get as many informal merchants on the platform as possible.
Okay.
Because you get to realize that when you want to buy a cigarette from a guy at the corner, you know very well, either you have to have 5 rand or you're not going to get it.
Yeah.
So when how eJuuZ plays a vital part is that guy who's selling that cigarette, we know that he's got a phone. Right?
Yeah.
He's got a phone number, he's got a face, and probably he's got an email address. And for eJuuZ, that would be enough to actually bring that person on board and then clear them as a merchant. So it's more like we are formalizing the informal economy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So so I'm assuming, yes, those things are the things that you mentioned are the prerequisites essentially for you to be uploaded as a informal merchant on the what's this, on the platform.
Yeah.
Okay. And you created that, or you and your team created that because you saw what exactly within the market?
So, well, Tiro, there was a time when I was broke. I was sitting at home, and I called my brother up and I asked him for, I think it was 200 rand. He sent me the 200 rand, and I know from where I live, the filling station is about 2 kilometers away. Now, I don't have money. My brother sends me 200 rand. I still don't have money to actually catch a taxi to
get the money.
Take it out. And then now, that was my challenge.
Yeah.
But at least now I can talk. So I managed to go to the nearest street, saw the taxi, stopped the taxi, had a conversation with him. Bro, I've got 200 rand. I want to go to the ATM. Just wait for me there. As soon as I take it out, I'll give you a share, and I'm on my way.
Yeah.
Cool, not a problem. On our way there, he's my friend now. He's my buddy. We're talking, we're chilling. But I might even buy you a dumpy, right?
Hey, you're making promises on the way.
It's 200 rand, right? 200 rand. I can do a lot of things with the 200 rand. So we buddies. We drive down. He parks. Bruh, as soon as I get off, word got around that the night before, the ATMs had just been bombed.
Yeah.
No, it's no more your friend anymore.
Oh, Joe,
this promised land.
No,
it's no longer the promised land.
I'm thinking, bruh, listen, 2 kilometers away, bruh. I have to walk back home. I have to walk back home because I don't have the cash.
Yeah.
And then I realized, so now think about it. Township, that's all there is. You find 2 filling stations with 2 ATMs, and you find 100 people waiting in those ATMs.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'd wait in line, and only when you get there, you find that there's no money.
There's no cash. Yeah, it's done.
Now that's a problem on its own. Getting rid of the queues and making sure that money, it will be able to then work for you even when you're chilling at home.
Yeah.
That's when eJuuZ was born. The fact that everybody has a phone, and the fact that you are able to transact, and that cash sends are being sent
daily
on a daily.
No, not even
over 140 billion cash send have been sent in 2024. 140 billion cash sends, and now that money, the Reserve Bank cannot trace it because of now and the Reserve Bank is having a big problem right now. They've got a 750 billion deficit, 750 billion informal economy that they cannot regulate.
Yeah.
They don't know what is happening with that 750 billion. Now with eJuuZ, they'll know. You get what I'm saying? Because now, think about it. I send you the 200 rand, you go to the ATM, you take it out, and you go buy whatever it is that you buy.
Yeah.
I don't know what happens to that 200 rand. But with eJuuZ, I send you the 200, you convert it into the application, and then because I've got vendors, there's a lot of merchants in there. You're able to see if you bought a cigarette, and that merchant is going to invoice you.
Yeah.
The merchants wouldn't invoice for 5 rand cigarette or a banana or whatever. But with the eJuuZ app, then they can actually invoice you. So that's how you formalize the informal market.
Creating a paper trail.
Correct.
And also, because you already have done that, almost the KYC equivalent.
Correct.
For the merchants to when they get onboarded, and I'm assuming also clients as well.
Correct.
Normal people would need to upload their details
as well.
Yeah. And wow, that's actually quite interesting, because I think our first episode we had a conversation with the lady who's in the compliance industry, and she helps businesses become compliant. And one of the things that she had mentioned was that the lack of paperwork, especially for informal businesses, is one of the biggest enablers of the money gone lost in the market, because I don't have paperwork and I don't need to tell you how much I made.
Yeah.
And you know, so you then start that, and you you started with your team and you're onboarding people.
Yeah.
What are some of the things what were some of the early receptions from the informal vendors or merchants?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, do they have reservations? Are they open to it? What are some of those experiences?
Well, adoption is a challenge, but now education now needs to play a very key role. And if you have a clear strategy on how to get adoption, then I don't think it is going to be much of a problem. So now with eJuuZ, what we've done is that we've interviewed substantial number of informal merchants with that particular problem. And now most of them, the people that we've introduced eJuuZ to, we told them, like, if you were to have something parallel, something cheaper than what it is that you currently have, would you move? Because now, right now, think about it this way. They've got an ATM. They've got a Yoko machine.
Sure.
Yoko machine, they had to buy it, right?
Yeah.
You have to buy it. And for each and every transaction,
you pay.
There's a fee.
There's a fee for each and every transaction. So now, who is losing there? It's either the merchant is going to lose out because they're going to take down their price so that they can retain the client, or they're going to take the price up. Then the client
is the one that's going to suffer and pay the cost and eventually leave.
You get what I'm saying? So now with eJuuZ, we then came up with a system, with a functional system that would work either on a smartphone or on a normal analog phone. You get what I'm saying? So now, meaning we are reducing all the costs now. So we're not talking about hardware. There's no hardware. We're not gonna give you any machine to rent or any machine to purchase.
Sure.
So the one thing that you're going to do is just to download your app, because you've got a phone. And if you don't have an app, you can dial into 120-444 eJuuZ, and then we can onboard you on the application.
Say that again. What's the number?
No, we're working on it right now.
Oh, okay.
Now, I cannot just give you now, but but now essentially that's going to be a USSD number.
Okay.
Where you'll be able to be onboarded. Yeah, so we're going to be working on
so
that.
far, what's been your greatest user acquisition channel? Since you're saying you've been interviewing people.
So we've worked with one merchant. With one merchant, we've piloted with one merchant. It was a network company. We piloted for 3 years, and we've transacted over 1.1 million transactions with that particular merchant. They came to us looking for a solution to provide recurring collection for their clients. So they're a network company. They're providing internet services, but now they are depending on their clients to make the payments, right? So they came to us and said, you know what, we've got a problem. These clients are not paying us as well as they should be. They know that they've got a service. By the first, they need to pay, but they're not paying on the first. Can you come up with something to assist us so that we can actually collect it more efficiently? So now, think about it in this fashion. Now, eJuuZ is just a word, right? It's just a concept that hasn't started working. So now when this client comes, I'm sitting with my operational manager, remember, so I'm telling him, yo, bro, we've got a client. We don't have an application.
Yes.
But we need to make sure that this client is happy.
Yeah.
What is it that we are going to do for this client? So we started digging, doing our analysis, and we realized, okay, this client has a website, but now this website is not an e-commerce store. An e-commerce store, when they pay, then you've moved it from just being a profile website. Yeah. Because now there's e-commerce happening, so there's payments happening. So what we did is that we integrated our APIs into the website.
Okay.
eJuuZ APIs, and then now we've got the backend from PayFast.
Okay.
So got a sandbox, started doing our programming, and then there was a integration of some sort. So every time people went onto their network's website, they booked the product that they needed, and then they checked out and they made the payments through eJuuZ.
Through eJuuZ, yeah.
Through eJuuZ on the client's website. And then that's how the transactions started going up. So now the first year, 2022, we made about 13,000 for the year.
Yeah.
In
Transactions.
Transactions. And the company was just looking at us thinking, okay, give us time. Let's just refine this. And then in 2023, we refined the product, we refined the solution, and we saw the numbers ranking up. So we made about 408,000 for the year.
So that's it. Yeah.
Right? It's a huge leap. And then 2024, last year, we managed to ramp it up again. Hockey stick jump, it went to 800,000.
Yeah.
So now we took some of the money, then we started building the actual application.
Yeah.
The actual development of the application. I think it's in my phone. I'll show you too. But now the thing is, with development, of maintenance, licenses, all of that.
Yeah.
A lot of fees.
It's a lot of fees involved.
Yeah.
And then now developing an application like that, you need to have people that are backing you to actually make sure that the vision is being, you get to you see the vision going through. Because in as much as, yes, you do have transactions, but the business has operations, right? And the operation chow in a lot into the business revenue. Yeah. So if you have to have, if you to get an investor, and then now you prototype everything, then you build the whole solution completely, and then and you make sure that you see all the transactions come through. I think that is the one key. But for business, I wouldn't even recommend that you first look at the money. All you have to do first is just to see if you can come up with a solution for the client.
Sure.
And now eJuuZ wasn't gonna be where it is if had the client came to us and then we told them that, you know what, we don't have an application yet, go back and then we'll come back when we have the application.
Yeah.
So it's just making do with what you have, seeing what it is that you can scramble together so that you can give a product to the client. And that's what it is. For business, you need to give a product to the client. And then now money is important, is key, because it drives the business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What has been your experience with attaining that money, that external capital? How has that experience been?
Well, nobody wants to give anybody money, right? It's very tough to convince somebody to give you money, especially when it comes to tech, right? And now, for a person to want to receive that money, that kind of cash, you need to show the investor that there's traction, there's movement, right? Because it's the idea is grand and all, right? But it doesn't work out as you had planned it in your mind. So, but if you have something to show, then at least somebody else can actually give you advice. Okay, fine, is that how it works? But I've got an idea. How about you do 1, 2, 3? And essentially that's what it is. And for me, like I said, if you want to get money from somebody else, there is a lot of money. But you need to make sure that you know where it is that you're going to source the money. And before you go source the money, you need to make sure that your home is well sorted, so that when they ask you questions about your business, when they ask you about your finances, hey bro, you know finances? They tell you about your financial audited statement.
Sure.
Brad, not a lot of people have financial audited statements.
Exactly.
I mean, who are you going to get an auditor to do that stuff for you? And how much is the auditor?
How much is an auditor?
How much am I making?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, and I would say if you don't have the passion, don't do it. But if you do have it, don't doubt yourself.
So it sounds like it's definitely worth it. Also considering that you went from 13,000 to almost now $1 million in transactions.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
That's a lot.
But speaking on the business side, though, what has been the monetization structure of eJuuZ? Because you put in so much into this app. How are you charging people, if you don't mind diverging that?
Yeah, no.
How are you charging people, and what's the structure looking like?
Well, the revenue generation right now, we're looking at between 2 to 3% in transaction fees. We're making money also by merchant onboarding, delivery on commissions, and also tailor-made packages.
Okay.
And then now, obviously, moving forward, we then have to then introduce a white labeling solutions for our cooperatives and NGO. And what I mean by white label, I'm not sure if you understand what.
No, please expand.
White label. So if I were to white label a product, was then it's eJuuZ as a backbone. But now I would have
Line Virage.
Yes, Line
Our
Virage.
sponsor.
Yes. I'd have this as a main front. So now eJuuZ would just fall. You wouldn't see eJuuZ in the front. You just see the name of a product that you'd want. That's how you white label, because that's how you scale quicker.
Okay.
So you partner with cooperative, your NGOs. You give them the platform, and what they do is that they introduce it to their constituency. Think about eJuuZ in this fashion. In churches, those are NGOs, right? Churches, they do donations. On every Sunday, there's donation that needs to be made. So with eJuuZ, it's easy for you to get a donation.
Sure.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you'd rather give a church a white label solution. So you'd package it as a church, but eJuuZ is transacting each and every.
So you then go to the people in charge of the church. You say, look, the infrastructure to facilitate these tithing process and things like that is going to be us.
Correct.
But you can operate your church as per normal.
As per normal. We're just digitizing the church as well.
Yeah. Digitizing it.
Digitizing the church, Just digitizing the church.
I find this quite interesting, and I think maybe before we wrap up this, and I'd like to say every conversation is part one. It's mostly like an introduction to our audience, and we'd like them to come back and say, look, I want to hear this guy's story a bit more. But I want to, before I let you go, or rather before we close it off, I want to touch base on the landscape of investor appetite for FinTech in South Africa. How do you view it? Especially it's because you're in that space. I mean, right now there's talks of what's the CBDCs and central bank digital currencies and cryptos, and yet are we as a economy, do we have VCs and private equity firms that are open to these things?
Well, in most cases, what I've realized is that there is appetite for, but it's more international investors trying to put in more money into FinTech. There is appetite, but now for us, I would think for eJuuZ to be looking in that space for investors, I think it's far more bigger than us just getting money. I mean, there's quite a lot of things that we are looking into getting as well. Like, proper partnership, mentorship, networks, access. Basically, if you have access, I think you can do quite a lot.
Yeah.
So there is appetite, there is an opportunity. It's just that I don't think a lot has been done to promote it in our country. Yeah. So there's not a lot of reform regarding that.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of assistance.
Yeah.
To get your product. It takes. Tiro, I had a friend back in the days, back in high school, and then like you asked me earlier how old I am. Hey man, age is nothing but a number. But back in the day, in 1999, I had this friend. You know what he told me? Yo, bro, wouldn't it be great to have a TV where you can pause, go to the bathroom, and come back and then play it and rewind it?
Yeah, it was 1999.
1999. That's my friend. He couldn't do anything about it until DSTV came into the pay.
Yeah. With what's PVR? I think they started with PVR. Yeah.
But he told me back in 99. I can't even call him now. He knows it. And his name is Mong. I can tell this one. His name is Mong. I said, Mong, bro, you're dreaming. And look at us now. And bro, I told him he's dreaming, and I was young. And then you know what it happened? When I got home, I'm thinking, what if that man was right?
Yeah.
And then he was right. But nothing, he couldn't do anything about it because now the environment was not conducive enough for him to showcase what he had in his mind.
Yeah.
It's Makes sense. There's so many stories of people with ideas and with the inability to
Execute them.
execute.
Yeah.
So how do you position yourself for investors? How do you demonstrate eJuuZ? Is it a high social investment, or how do you put it to investors as a company?
Well, like I said, we haven't, everything has been bootstrapped. We've been running the business, we've self-funded until now, right? But now all I can say is that we have made quite a number of applications to get investors on board. So now how we've positioned eJuuZ, obviously, as a low data app. And then they understand that it's a township application, FinTech application. So basically what we're saying is that we are trying to onboard people who are less fortunate, or maybe people who have been left behind. Left behind, because now you look at our township, they have been left behind by this whole transition into digital. So how we've positioned ourselves is that we've seen the gap, and then we understand that the Reserve Bank is trying to counter attack this type of issue, because now that's what we're trying to do. We've aligned ourselves with the South African Reserve Bank to assist them in curving whatever it is.
And SARS to an extent. I mean,
and SARS as well.
Because, I mean, picking up a lot of money is lost.
Money laundering, yeah, for sure. So that's our position, basically. And even when we present it, it's like, we're doing something cool for the South African Reserve Bank. Yeah.
Cool.
Incredible. 3 books that you have read or are reading that have changed your life.
Think and Go Big by Napoleon Hill. And then the other one is, oh man, I've got quite a number, as Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs, yeah.
And also the other one by Richard Branson. It's like Do It or something. What is it?
Richard Branson.
Yeah, Richard Branson is Screw It, Let's Do It. Screw It, Let's Do It. So now that's one thing that I liked about that man, Richard Branson, is that he was a risk taker, even though he had a family, but he put his life on the line,
Literally, because I think there was a point he almost died.
Bro, you get what I'm saying? Yeah. With all that money. So now that man, he really showed me that if you really want to do something that will make you a person that you are, and then there's one thing about life is that we always fool ourselves. Don't fool yourself. When something you want to do something, don't ever think that you are invalid. You do it, and then you make sure that whether you're failures or you are success, the one thing is that you've done it. And you are able to talk about it. Failure is little steps to making sure that you are going to get the big win. But you can never win if you don't fail. That's one thing for sure. Yeah, you need to fail.
Your biggest lesson from your biggest failure. And what was that biggest failure?
Biggest lesson
that you've learned from your biggest failure?
Oh man, biggest lesson, biggest failure. It's not in business though.
Yeah,
it's a relationship. Relationship, friend relationship, sister, girlfriend, whatever. You need to foster and create a safe place for each and every relationship you want to pay attention, that you want to harness. My biggest failure was the inability to retain my relationship. And then I know I am big, right? So now my partner didn't understand how big it is, how big I was.
Sure.
So now, and I didn't have the patience to show her what it is that I wanted, my vision. I wasn't patient enough to actually show my vision. And eventually I let the whole relationship go. Let the whole relationship go because of my ego. Which you say is an ego. Yes, it's an ego. No, the baby I'm good to see. So the baby can really so that you can't monitor it. But it's not about that. I could have done better. to make her see what it is that I have. And she was patient enough, and I think as an individual, I was too focused on what I was doing.
Sure.
And I neglected the relationship. And then that's one of my biggest failure. If you want to succeed in life, you need to look at your life holistically and just try to cover all the loose ends.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just not a one.
Not operating at the extremes of anything.
Yeah.
Incredible. Where can people get a hold of eJuuZ?
Hey man, you can get me on the website. We are www.eJuuZ.com. You can find me on LinkedIn and just on LinkedIn.
Do you mind spelling the eJuuZ with a...
Yes, because people put juice there.
Okay, it's eJuuZ.com. Yeah, it's that easy.
Thank you so much for your time, my brother.
Hey man, I'm the one who's fortunate to be here, and it's been an eye opener today. This is like I said, it's my first interview.
Thank you for gracing us with and trusting us.
Man,
we're hoping we've built that safe space that you're talking
guys,
about.
I was sitting there at home. I'm thinking, what are these guys gonna ask? Okay, they asked. Here are the questions. Yeah. So am I gonna be able to answer these questions? Oh man, dear God, help me, be with me. Help me, but I'm here. And guys, like I said, you guys are doing such an awesome work. Whatever it is that you guys have started, don't let it fall. Or if you are experiencing problems, it is a heartbeat. Life is a heartbeat. You get your ups, you get your downs, but make sure that you're always pushing towards your goal. Yeah.
Into the relationship. No, super. Thank you so much, man. Mo, as always, my brother, thank you so much for joining. Well, you are part of the show. In any case, thank you for watching and coming through to yet another episode of The Big Pitch. Do drop the comments. Tell us what you think about the episode. Should we bring Thabang back for another jaw-breaking story or jaw-dropping story? But even more so for him to just tell us more about the FinTech industry. Outside of that, please do give us a thumbs up and do subscribe. Thank you again and see you in the next episode.